neon lights, pastel suits, and a soundtrack that defined a generation. Miami Vice wasn't just a TV show, it was a cultural phenomenon. Premiering in the 1980s, it revolutionized crime drama with its cinematic style, iconic fashion, and unforgettable characters. But what happened to the stars who brought Sonny Crockett and Ricardo Tubbs to life? Where are they now in 2025? From career twists and personal transformations to surprising comebacks, we're diving deep into the then and now journey of the Miami Vice cast. Whether you're a longtime fan or just discovering the magic, this is your all-access pass to see how time has reshaped these iconic faces. Don Johnson, who portrayed Detective James, Sonny, Crockett in Miami Vice, was 34 years old in 1984 when he first brought the stylish, emotionally layered undercover cop to life. His intense charisma and fashion-forward presence made him a symbol of 1980s cool. Behind the success, however, Johnson struggled with substance abuse and turbulent relationships. He married 5 times, including 2 short-lived unions with actress Melanie Griffith, with whom he had a son, Jesse. He later had a daughter, Dakota, with Griffith, who also became a famous actress. Despite attempts at stability, Johnson's marriages often ended in heartbreak, largely due to infidelity and his unpredictable lifestyle. His post-Vice career faltered, leading to financial instability and tax issues in the early 2000s. Johnson reportedly declared bankruptcy in 2004 with over $10 million in debt. Though he later bounced back with roles in Nash Bridges and Knives Out, emotional scars remained. He currently lives a quieter life in Colorado at 74, with an estimated net worth of $40 million, though insiders say he struggles with loneliness and regrets over lost time with his children. Philip Michael Thomas, best known for playing Detective Ricardo, Rico, Tubbs, was 35 when Miami Vice began. He brought a cool, streetwise sophistication to the role that endeared him to audiences. However, after the show ended, Thomas's career took a sharp downward turn. He famously declared he would win an EGOT, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony, but never earned any of them. His music career failed to launch, and he became the subject of ridicule. He married model Cassandra Thomas in 1987, and they had 6 children together, including daughters Imaj and Sasha. But the couple divorced in 1998 amid reports of infidelity and financial issues. He later fathered 5 more children with different partners, creating tension and legal troubles over child support. A devout spiritualist, he retreated from public life in the 2000s. Now 75, Thomas lives modestly in Florida, reportedly surviving on residuals and spiritual coaching sessions. His current net worth is estimated at $250,000, a far cry from his peak fame. Friends say he lives with deep regret over his lost stardom and family fractures. Sandre Santiago, who portrayed the strong and compassionate detective Gina Calabrese, was just 27 in 1984 when she took on the role. Santiago stood out as one of the few prominent Latina actresses in primetime TV at the time. After Miami Vice, she continued acting on stage and screen but never reached the same level of fame. Her personal life was marked by solitude and emotional upheaval. She had a long-term relationship with theater director David Levos in the 1990s, but they separated in 2002 due to conflicting career paths. Santiago never married or had children, and she has spoken openly about her struggles with infertility and the pain of watching peers build families while she pursued her art. She reportedly lost both her parents within a year in the early 2000s, plunging her into a deep depression. Despite this, she continued working in theater and small TV roles. Now 67, she lives alone in New York City, teaching acting and occasionally appearing in stage productions. Her net worth is estimated around $500,000, and she is known for her quiet resilience despite a life full of emotional loss. Olivia Brown, who played the resourceful and intuitive detective Trudy Joplin, was just 24 when she joined the Miami Vice cast. Her performance brought warmth and subtle strength to the show. After the series ended, Brown struggled to find consistent work, eventually stepping back from acting to raise her children. She married actor McCauley Williamson in 1983, and they had one daughter, Phoenix, before divorcing in 1985. The breakup was acrimonious, involving custody disputes and public arguments. Brown later remarried a film producer, Michael Brown, in the 1990s and had two more children, Joshua and Faith, but the marriage ended in divorce in 2010 due to his infidelity. Financial issues followed as her acting work dwindled, and she reportedly declared bankruptcy in 2014. Despite this, Brown has remained committed to her family and works as a drama teacher in Los Angeles. Now 64, she lives modestly and is believed to have a net worth of under $200,000. Friends say she struggles with anxiety and regret, particularly about the career she believes never fulfilled its early promise. Michael Talbot brought humor and humanity to the role of Detective Stan Switek, a surveillance expert with a quirky streak. Just 29 in 1984, Talbot seemed destined for a long TV career, but after Miami Vice, offers dried up. He turned to voice work and small film roles but never regained the limelight. Talbot married a schoolteacher named Rebecca in 1986, and they had two sons, Matthew and Brian. The family initially enjoyed a quiet life in Montana, but Talbot's growing alcohol dependency in the 1990s strained the marriage. Rebecca left him in 2001, taking their children. The divorce was devastating, and Talbot's health declined as he withdrew from the public eye. He retired from acting in 2002 and now lives in semi-isolation in a cabin near Bozeman, reportedly battling diabetes and heart problems. He receives a small pension and lives off savings, with an estimated net worth of $150,000. Friends describe him as reclusive and nostalgic, often rewatching old episodes of Miami Vice alone. Edward James Olmos, who portrayed the stoic and enigmatic Lieutenant Martin Castillo, was 37 when he joined Miami Vice in 1984. His powerful, understated performance earned him both an Emmy and a Golden Globe, and he was one of the few cast members to find consistent work afterward. Despite professional accolades, Olmos' personal life was often turbulent. He married Puerto Rican actress Lorraine Bracco in 1994, but their union was plagued by trust issues and ultimately ended in divorce in 2002. He has two children from a previous relationship, Miko and Bodhi, both of whom have struggled with mental health and substance abuse, contributing to Olmos' private heartbreak. Financially stable due to wise investments, his estimated net worth is $14 million. Yet, Olmos has endured 5 major personal tragedies: the deaths of his brother and father within 2 years, a bitter lawsuit from a former agent, being falsely accused of misconduct in the late 2000s, and a cancer scare in 2021. Now 77, he remains active in advocacy work, though friends say he often hides a deep sadness behind his calm exterior. Rico Paisley, who appeared in multiple roles including FBI agent Paul and Evans, was approximately 30 in 1984. While never a central figure on Miami Vice, he was a familiar face throughout the series. His career afterward was fragmented, bit parts in low-budget films and guest spots on forgotten sitcoms. He married costume designer Angela Moore in 1986, but they divorced in 1994 amid his increasing struggles with alcohol and erratic behavior. The couple had one son, Trevor, who distanced himself from Rico due to years of instability and emotional absence. Paisley was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 1997, and though he sought treatment, he faced homelessness in the early 2000s. A GoFundMe campaign in 2012 helped him find stable housing, but his public appearances since have been rare. Now in his early 70s, he lives in subsidized housing in Atlanta and reportedly survives on Social Security and modest SAG royalties. His current net worth is estimated at under $50,000. Those who knew him say he still clings to the memory of Miami Vice as the high point of an otherwise painful life. John Deal, who played Detective Larry Zito, was 34 years old when he portrayed the soft-spoken but principled officer who tragically exited the series in Season 3. Deal continued acting in film and television but never found a role as impactful as Zito. He married actress Julie Christensen in 1992, and they had one child, Noah. However, Deal's intense work schedule and frequent location shoots strained the marriage, leading to divorce in 2005. His son battled addiction for years, and Deal has spoken candidly about the guilt he carries for being an absentee father. He has also suffered from chronic back pain due to an onset injury and underwent 3 surgeries. Financially, Deal did moderately well, investing wisely and maintaining a net worth of approximately $2 million. Now 74, he lives in Nashville and teaches acting, often declining interview requests due to anxiety and a dislike for fame. Friends say he is content but distant, haunted by the past and forever chasing the fulfillment that Miami Vice briefly gave him. Martin Ferrero, who played the eccentric informant Izzy Moreno, was 36 in 1984 and became a fan favorite for his comedic timing and streetwise charm. However, Ferrero never managed to shake the typecasting that followed. He retired from acting in the early 2000s after a series of uncredited and disappointing roles. Never married and childless, Ferrero lived with his aging mother until her death in 2010, after which he reportedly fell into a severe depression. He lived quietly in San Luis Obispo, California, spending his time gardening and writing unpublished screenplays. Friends say Ferrero never adjusted to life outside the spotlight and grew increasingly reclusive. Suffering from arthritis and failing eyesight, he turned down multiple reunion appearances, citing mental exhaustion. Though retired, he receives some income from residuals and owns a modest home. Now 76, his estimated net worth is around $400,000. He has no known close family and spends most days alone, living off nostalgia and old scripts that never saw production. Julio Oscar Machoso, who played roles such as Lester Cosco on Miami Vice, was just 29 in 1984. A talented character actor, Machoso often played lawmen and sidekicks but never broke into lead roles. Behind the scenes, his life was marked by constant struggle. He was married to Cuban-American writer Marisol Gomez, with whom he had one daughter, Paloma, but the couple separated in 2001. Machoso battled depression and obesity throughout his life, and his health suffered due to diabetes and heart issues. Despite these challenges, he was a beloved mentor to many Latino actors and fiercely advocated for better representation in Hollywood. Tragically, he died from a heart attack on November 25, 2017, at the age of 62. At the time of his death, his estate was estimated to be worth around $600,000. Though not widely celebrated during his life, many colleagues mourned his passing, calling him a quiet giant of Latino cinema whose talent was never fully recognized. Charlie Barnett, who played the energetic street hustler Neville Nutty Lamont, was 31 years old when he brought raw, comedic brilliance to Miami Vice. Known for his improvisational talent and unpredictable charm, Barnett's role became iconic despite limited screen time. Off-camera, Barnett's life was marked by turbulence. He struggled with a long-term heroin addiction, which derailed what many believed could have been a legendary career in both comedy and acting. He never married and had no children, though he was briefly engaged to fellow comedian Tracy Booker in the late 80s, an engagement that ended tragically when she died of an overdose. Barnett was homeless for periods during the 1990s, relying on couch surfing and the kindness of old friends from the stand-up scene. He was diagnosed with HIV in 1994, and his health declined rapidly. On March 16, 1996, he died of complications related to AIDS at just 41 years old. At the time of his death, he had no estate, living off occasional club appearances and minor residuals. Despite his downfall, those who knew him remember his genius as untamed and unforgettable. Belinda Montgomery, who portrayed Caroline Crockett, the estranged wife of Don Johnson's character, was 34 when Miami Vice premiered. Her role, though brief, was emotionally complex, depicting a woman torn between loyalty to a dangerous husband and her own safety. Montgomery's life after the show veered away from acting. She turned to painting full-time in the mid-1990s. She married Canadian novelist Douglas Gray in 1988, but the marriage collapsed a decade later following a miscarriage and persistent creative differences. The couple had no children. In 2001, she suffered a nervous breakdown and was hospitalized for several months, emerging with a deep aversion to public life. Though she sold several paintings in private exhibitions, she often struggled financially, living in a modest apartment in Vancouver. Now 74, her net worth is estimated to be under $200,000. Rarely seen in public, she has become something of a mystery figure, her fans left only with haunting roles and the echo of potential left unrealized. Sheena Eastston, who played Caitlin Davies, the country singer who became Sonny Crockett's wife, was 28 when she joined Miami Vice in 1987. Her romantic arc brought new emotional depth to the show. Outside of acting, Eastston was already a Grammy-winning pop singer, but fame came at a personal cost. She married 4 times, most notably to producer Tim Delbert, with whom she adopted 2 children, Jake and Skylar. Both children suffered from emotional and behavioral disorders, leading Eastston to retreat from the spotlight in the early 2000s. One son was arrested in 2012, and she rarely discusses the matter. Eastston was plagued by stalkers in the late 90s and developed severe anxiety. Despite this, she continued to perform in Las Vegas residencies to maintain financial stability. Her net worth is estimated at $15 million, though much is tied up in property and trusts for her children. Now 66, she lives in quiet semi-retirement in Henderson, Nevada, rarely granting interviews, her smile often concealing years of grief, disappointment, and exhaustion. Mark McCauley, who appeared in multiple supporting roles throughout Miami Vice, was only 26 when he began his involvement with the show in 1985. With his rugged looks and intense demeanor, he often portrayed criminals or lawmen. After the show, McCauley became a reliable character actor, appearing in dozens of television shows and films but never breaking into stardom. He married casting director Alyssa Cooper in 1991, but the marriage collapsed after 12 years, due in part to his constant travel and alleged infidelity. The couple had 2 daughters, Serena and Lila, both of whom have stayed out of the spotlight. In 2010, McCauley was seriously injured in a car accident, leading to a prolonged recovery and a decline in offers. He fell into depression and struggled with opioid dependency during rehab. Though he returned to acting in smaller roles, his net worth sits at an estimated $300,000. Now 65, he lives in Gainesville, Florida, doing occasional theater work and teaching acting. Colleagues describe him as humble, haunted, and quietly hopeful for redemption that never fully came. Who is your favorite character from Miami Vice? How does it feel knowing that some of the actors are no longer with us? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on future uploads. Thank you for your support. Complications related to the disease. At the time of his death, his estate was valued at approximately $18,000, primarily consisting of residuals and memorabilia. Though often overlooked, McDonald's steady contributions to Perry Mason left an enduring legacy in the annals of courtroom television drama. Who is your favorite character from Perry Mason? How does it feel knowing that some of the actors are no longer with us? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on future uploads. Thank you for your support.